What up, guys? I am so excited to be here tonight. I know I'm going against the Super Bowl, but that's all right. I want to see what we can do to help you start, grow, and be successful. That's what I'm excited for you to see what we can do here. And this here is probably one of the hardest struggles is what do I charge to do pressure washing? How much do I charge for concrete? How much do I charge for exactly? The Super Bowl doesn't pay my bills. How much do I charge for house washes? How much do I charge to package stuff, to do stuff? And so the reason why I'm kind of getting on this one tonight is there was a discussion in the Facebook group that if you remember, there was a discussion in there, and that is why I wanted to hit on this because I knew that it would be tough. There's also another question I'm going to answer after I get done with my talking about pricing, and we had somebody asking about a buffer tank, and so that is a question that I will ask. Better entertainment. So let's get started. What in business? What how do we price? Do we do it by square foot? Do I do it by size of the house? And so I've broken it down. I break it down into three or four packages within three or four square footage range. So, you know, my bread and butter house, and this is something that you kind of got to see where your bread and butter is, but my bread and butter house was around that 2,500 square feet house. People in 1,000 square feet customer just ain't my customer. That's not the people that I probably want. Not to say that's always the case, and that's why if they want to pay $300, they can pay $300. But that's not where I'm really going to focus on. I'm not going to give them a huge deal because they got a little house and I'm going to go out there for $199. I wouldn't do that. And there's a reason why I wouldn't do that. Because when you're out there watching that $199 house, you could be missing out on that $500 house, $700 house. And so the goal is to get our average ticket up. And when we can get our average ticket up, we make more money, you become more profitable, and that is the goal. And that's what I want your goal to be, is to make more money. So let's get started here. So the way I usually break it down is either a 1,500 square feet house and smaller. You can do 1,000 square foot house, a 1,500 square foot house or smaller. And then I'm going to go up to maybe a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot house. That's going to be a price there. 2,500. I could even go 1,500 to 2,300, 2,300 to 3,000, and then 3,000 plus. And the reason why I break it down this way is, and even on sometimes the 3,000 plus, I may want to make sure that I can see it and I can make sure that we are being successful in our pricing. So that is why I break it down into those tiers. So again, a 1,500 square foot house down to nothing, a 1,500 to maybe a 2,300 square foot is going to be this price. A 2,300 foot to 3,000, maybe a 3,000 to 4,000 is all going to be their own little price sets that I'm going to put in there. Now, I use ResponsiBid, so all I have to do is to say this house is a 1,500 square foot house. It's going to put it there. It's going to send the bid, da 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 da, bam. If you want to check out ResponsiBid, this isn't about ResponsiBid, but I'm just saying this is how I do it with the three packages. So now that we got that size of the houses broke down, now we're going to talk about the pricing of each individual house. Now, so Zig is the one that he was the one that was in here asking these prices. He sent me this price list, so I'm kind of cheating off of his price list just because I kind of went through and being like, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't do that, and so I'm looking at it to kind of give me to make sure where I'm at. So what he had done is when I'm doing this, I'm not going to lower my pricing down. Now, if you don't have something like responsive bid, then what I suggest is you write each individual price down of, and you're going to go higher. Then you're going to say, um, I'm going to give you a discount off that, or we'll knock, if you do A is a house wash, it's this much, how much ever the house wash is. If you do A and B and it was, an extra $300, I'm going to discount it down. And so this is how I'm going to do that. And I'll talk about concrete later, but this is how I'm going to make this set up to make sure that I'm getting the prices. So, if you don't have different packages, I'm going to suggest you really need to get packages. So, these are some packages that I like. I'm going to give you a secret package that Mr. Brian told me, and I love this package. It's a way to get an extra $50 right out of the start and not do nothing different than what you were going to do in the beginning. So I'm going to hold that one to a little bit later. I'm going to go through here first and tell you a little other ones. So my packages was 1, house wash, 2, exterior windows, 3 was driveway. These are 3 packages I'm going to do. Now, if you know that they need a deck clean or stuff like that, then these are some things that you're going to do. So the very first thing, so talking about that, Brian, I love this package. I don't talk about it a lot. I'm not talked about a lot. But Brian is out of Indiana. One of his first package is from the gutter. From here, you can't see it, but where the gutter is right here, this wall, he does from the wall down. He don't do the soffits and the gutters. Now, with that said, he's going to clean them either which way. So he's going to, if they just want the basic house wash, he's going to over deliver. He's going to under promise and over deliver because he's actually going to go ahead and do the gutters and everything. So what he'll do is just from not doing the gutters, but everything from the gutters below, he'll charge $299 or $279, I think it is. Then what he does is package 2 is he does the gutters, the soffits, and all of that, and the whole house wash, and he charges an extra $50 just to do that. So that puts us out of 1 package to 2 packages just like that. So that gives us 2 packages right off the get-go just by doing from the gutter line all the way down. Then obviously I love the exterior window cleaning using a DI tank. That is a great upsell. That is one that a lot of people do. And then obviously the driveway cleaning. That is one. So how do I know what to charge for the house wash, the driveway, the exterior windows? So the house washes, and this is going to be hard for people just starting out. This isn't something that is going to be easy to sell because it is easy to sell. It's just you got to get used to being able to sell at a higher price is what it's really going to come down to. So and again, some areas are going to be different. I understand that 100% to a point. To a point. The Florida guys may have to be a little bit cheaper, but I don't think they need to be that much cheaper. I closed a $750 job in 3 hours. I can still close 5 hours. Money. So, that is awesome. So, let's talk about my house washes. So, if I was just starting out, I would at least be $249. Would be my basic minimum house wash. I wouldn't want to be under that $199. Now, I know, and you couldn't do this, if I was under that $199 house, that would be from the soffits down. I'm not doing the gutters, I'm not doing the soffits, none of that. And then $250 if you're afraid to start out at $250. I really like for you to be at that $300 mark for $279. Hell no, I live in Florida and I'm inexpensive. That's awesome. I would like for you to be at that $279, $300 just for a house wash in there. So this is one thing that is kind of where you're at. Next thing. So, and then I'm going to go up incrementally. Now, I might go from one to the next. I'm not going to go crazy high. You know, if a 1,500 square foot house is $300 and a 3,000 square foot house is 3,000, I'm not going to charge $600. Now, I probably can, maybe depending on what things are, but I'm probably not. Now, I'm going to jump up, but I'm not going to jump up crazy because you know that 2,700 square foot house, that 2,500 square foot house is where my bread and butter is. You know, if I can get that anywhere from 350 to 425, I'm happy at that point because I know I'm going to be in and out in an hour, and I'm going to make 400 bucks, 450, 350. I'm good with 350. So, with that said, next thing. So that's kind of how I'm going to go there. The next thing I'm going to do is exterior window cleaning. And then also, I'm going to back up one. On the house washing, I'm going to maybe be 50. You know, if I did just package A and it's just the walls down, and then package B is the walls up or the gutters and up, I'm going to add 20. I'm going to probably add 50 bucks just for that right there because that's going to get my average ticket up higher because that is the goal. The goal is to get our average ticket up so then that way we make more money, we make more profit, and that is the goal, right? Make more money, more profit, that is the goal. So, I will answer your question on that 8-gallon-a-minute machine once I get done here. So, the next thing we're going to do is exterior window cleaning. I don't care how many panes are in there, how many of that kind of stuff. I would start out at $125 for the smaller package, and I'm going to work my way up from there. $150, $175, $200. You know, I'm going to work my way up from that, starting out at the $125. Yes, people will pay you to do that because it isn't about the cost. It's about you are saving them time. You are doing everything with it. So that is what we're going to do. Another thing that you can do to get, you know, if you have this package here, I'm going to step back a step. So for house wash, you know, I've also done warm water. If I clean with warm water, and I'll charge an extra 50 bucks for that because that's just another package. So exterior window cleaning, I'm going to start out at 125 and I'm going to work my way up. I can be high, and these are just starting out prices, guys. Don't think that you can start here and this is where you got to stay. You know, if you start out at these prices and your close rate is 80, 90%, raise those prices up some more. Keep raising them higher and higher. You know, if we're at 50% close rate, we'll make a whole lot more money at 50% close rate than we do at a 70% and a lot cheaper. So if our close rate is, you know, getting lower and we're in the 30% range and we're not making money yet, then maybe we need to back them down. But I don't want to hear I just start business and I've got 5 phone calls and I haven't closed any of them. Well, that means you got 5 more to call to get those yeses out. And that's usually how that goes. So, that. Now, driveways. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I just charge $199 an upsell. No, driveways take at least, most driveways are going to take you 45 minutes to an hour. I'm shooting for that $300 an hour. That's my goal. When I'm bidding this stuff, if you noticed, everything I'm bidding is at that $300 an hour. House wash, starting at $279, $300. That little house wash is going to take me an hour. That's why I'm doing that. Window cleaning, $125, 20 minutes. Shooting at that $300 an hour. Driveway cleaning, $300 an hour. That's what I'm shooting for. Now, you might think that, Jason, you're just greedy. You're just greedy. Why are you so greedy? Well, let's see. My business runs 8 months out of the year, and I can't do nothing the other 4 months. So why not make enough money that I can live, that I don't have to work somewhere at McDonald's for them other 4 months, and this pays for all my equipment. This pays for something that's called marketing. This pays for trucks. It pays for nice dinners for me and my wife. It pays for all my house bills. It pays so that my wife don't have to work. It pays for do you see where I'm going with this? This is why we charge what we charge. You know, if I felt bad and I want to charge the $99 guy and watch every one of the $99 guys go out of business, that's why I charge what I charge. I charge because the $99 guy ain't going to last very long. It's proven fact. The $99 guy ain't going to stick around through wintertime. You know why he ain't going to stick around through wintertime? Because he's going to be broke. And you know what broke people do? They go on the regular job because their woman in their house is saying, you need to get a job. All right. So driveways. Most of them are going to take you 40 to 60 minutes. I don't like driveways. There's reasons why I don't like driveways. Reason 1, they can take an hour. Reason 2, my feet get wet. Reason 3, they run my tank out of water. Reason 4, tips get clogged up and they tiger stripe and blah, 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 blah. So I'm charging $300 an hour to make that happen. Now, if you want to know, if you need to know that this driveway is 1,500 square feet and it is, it's 1,234 square feet, and all that, that's fine and dandy. I'm good for that. And you want to know how much to charge per foot, then if you charge 20 cents per square foot, on average, I could do 2,000 square foot an hour. My guys could do 1,500 square feet per hour. So if you're charging 20 cents square foot for concrete, guess what that gets you? $300 an hour. Now, talking about concrete in places like Sonic's and restaurants, it's going to be hard to get 20 cents a square foot because they're cheap and they don't want to pay that much. I'm just telling you, there's people out there that'll go bid that stuff for 5-10 cents a square foot all day long. And it's not, and that's a different business model. When we're talking about residential and stuff like that versus commercial, not commercial as in apartment association and stuff like that, but commercial as in restaurants and that, because at that point, their goal is to get a route, and they're not going to make all their money up front. They're going to make their money monthly, going there every month, doing it every month. And so, the long-term value of that customer isn't going to be $300 or $400. It's going to be $2,000 or $3,000. And you find 10 of that, that's $30,000. So I hope that kind of clears that up there. So the next thing is, like I said, the driveways. And usually what I'll do is, if I'm going to do the driveway, I'm going to be like, up to 1,500 square feet. Now, if I know that driveway's longer, if I measured it out, you can use Google Earth to measure it. You can use different things to measure this out. When you're doing that, then what that's going to do is I can charge, if it says it's 3,000 square feet, I can divide that, by 20, times that by 20 cents, and that's going to give me $600, and that's going to tell me how much to charge for that. And that way, I'm going to be profitable at the end, and I'm going to be able to make money at it doing it. So driveways. So that's house washing, exterior window cleaning, and driveways. Now, decks. He didn't have decks on here. I know what I was going to hit before I got to the stupid decks. There's another thing I don't like doing. I don't like doing a lot of things. I love house washing. Roof cleaning. I wouldn't get up on a roof unless I'm making $450 to $500. Period. There's too much liability to be getting on a roof for $300-$400. He actually had a price here on a roof cleaning at where was it at? Right here somewhere, maybe not. Oh, $300 minimum. I'd at least have a $500. If you want to go to $450, I personally wouldn't have one for $500 minimum. And here's why: there's just too much risk up on that roof. First off, my chemical cost goes up. Second off, my fall risk factor goes up. Third, my chemical safety goes up. And fourth, my chance of killing something goes through the roof. So I'm going to keep that. I want to be at $500 and go from there. I can go up in that, and I don't really have. I'm going to be again. I'm going to have that. 15 to 100 to 0 is going to be $500. The next one 650, 750, 850, whatever you want to be at. So those are some things that I'm going to do. Now, if I do a roof wash, then I'm going to do packages again: roof wash, house wash, gutter clean, or not gutter clean, exterior window cleaning. And this way, I can make sure that we can get there and not go broke and make money. Because the last thing I want you all to do is to go broke. I want to make sure that you're being profitable. I want to make sure that you're making money, because if you're not making money, then you have a hobby. And I don't want you to have a hobby. I want you to have a successful business. And how to have a successful business? Charge. Don't be the $99 guy. All right. So that gets us our house washing. That gets us our driveway cleaning. That gets us our exterior cleaning. The next thing, decks. Good old decks. How to charge per decks. So I was anywhere from $1 to $1.50 per square foot of a deck. So if it's a 400 square foot deck, it's $400. That's where I was. I didn't go, okay, so it's 75 cents a square foot plus $1 linear foot for railings and so much for steps. I'm $1 to $1.50 per square foot per deck. That's where I would be at on decks. That's I might even go up more than that, because I hate decks. I don't like decks. Again, there's too much risk involved with decks. I think, oh, Jason, just the decks, just so easy. Well, if they don't remove all their furniture, and they had to remove their furniture, because if they didn't remove their furniture and you damaged that $1,000 grill and bought them a new grill, you just went in the hole. You just lost money. And that is not the key. The key is not to lose money. The key is to make money. You make money, put it in your pocket, and you take it home. That is the key. So that is where we want to be at. So the next thing is, so I hit decks, I've hit windows. Now on exterior windows, I've never added that as its own service. I added it as an add-on, but I've never went to a house just to do exterior window cleaning. And if I did, I would have a minimum of probably 250, 200 to 250 is probably have a good minimum. Maybe my minimum was closer to $300. Oh, one other thing. So I was one of these people of I never clean one side. Why would I only clean one side? That's just stupid. Why would you want to clean one side for? That's half-ass in the house. Is what I said it. I did it. So, no, you cannot, George. So, and I'll hit to that question. So, with that said, they got me mixed up. What was I talking about? Shoot. One side house washes. What I would do, and I sold a crap ton of these. I would knock off $75 off my minimum house wash. Was a one-sided deck. So I was about $225 for my minimum house wash for a one-side house wash. And I did a ton of them. And here's why you will do a ton of them. Because say Miss Jones goes out and she's wanting to sell her house. And the home inspector says that you need to clean that one side of the house. Well, why would I want to pay $350, $400 when I can pay $225 to go clean that one side? That's why. Because they need it done. It looks ugly. The homeowners association gave them a letter and said that side needs to be cleaned. And guess what? That is what you do. You go there, you pull up, you talk to them, you're there in and out in 15 minutes, and you made $225. It is a beautiful thing. But you just didn't do that, because that would be stupid if that's all you did. What did you do, Jason? Why would that be stupid if I can go there in 15 minutes? Well, because I needed to get my pictures for my before and after. I did a time lapse. I did my 5 rounds, my 10 rounds. I did this thing called marketing. Because if we don't do this thing called marketing, it don't matter what I'm talking about pricing. Because if you can't get the phone to ring, don't matter about what I'm talking about. So, with that said, I just sold a $200 house wash, $280 one side, and it happens in Texas. So that is awesome. So, Mr. George, asking, let me ask me this question a little bit. Let me make sure I got all my questions answered about house washing prices. So we talked. Oh, I got one other thing I want to talk about. House washing, we went over that. Deck cleaning, we went over that. Exterior window cleaning, roof cleaning, driveway cleaning, concrete cleaning, pool deck cleaning. Pool deck cleaning is going to be the same as concrete deck cleaning. Paver sealing. Paver, if you haven't thought about doing it, it is a great upsell. It does take some learning a little bit, some videos of learning how to do it, things like that. But it is an amazing upsell. Do you just have a Google course? I do. It is it's in my pressure wash membership, pressurewashhelp.com/training, and it gives you a free 30 days. I talk about Google My Business. I talk about Google Ads, all of it right there. So, paver sealing. Paver sealing is a great way to make money. Paver sealing is something that I was charging $1.50 to $2 a square foot to clean, seal, sand, and seal. Well, I said that. Clean, seal, or sand, and then seal. And it was a great way to make money, and it was an awesome thing that you can make high dollar tickets, really high dollar tickets, and you make good money at. So George asked if you can clean a deck with a surface cleaner. Now, I tell my guys no. I would tell you no, and I would tell you no, and this is why I'm going to tell you no. Because you can screw up a deck really fast with a surface cleaner. Now, I will tell you how to do it with a surface cleaner, but I'm going to tell you don't do it. So, if you're going to do it with a surface cleaner, first off, when you start the surface cleaner, don't just stand still and pull the trigger and let that thing go bzzz and not move it. Because you just made a beautiful circle in that deck. And if you hold it there long enough, you made a really nice deep circle in that deck. Because it'll just penetrate right down in that wood, penetrate right down in that composite deck. And it is not good. Not good at all. Now, this is the next thing you need to do. The next thing, if you're going to do it, usually on a new deck, or if I know they're going to stain a deck, never do it. That's my two, never do it. If it's an old crappy deck and they want to get all the paint chips up and all that crap up, then I'll do it. Because I'm not going to screw it up any worse than what they're going to do, because they're probably going to put a paint layer on it and it's not going to be screwed up anyway. So I would just probably do it at that point. But again, whenever you're using a surface cleaner on a deck, again, I don't recommend it. Make sure you never stop with it. When you start, you are moving it, pulling the trigger as you're moving it. And when you're done with it, you let off the trigger and you are still moving it. Because if you don't do that, you will screw it up, period. Just thank me later, because I've had employees, and if you have employees, don't do it, period. Because that is when I've had all the issues. And here's the thing. If you have employees, or you've grown into get employees, don't do it yourself. You know, this is why I want to set up, my course is going to get set up a little bit different. My course is going to get set up as, this here is what an employee does, or a brand new pressure washer is going to do. That's going to be down here. It's going to be step by step. It's going to have, I'm going to put a little test in it, so that way you can set an employee down in front of this. They can start watching, taking notes. You can give them a test. They take the test. That way, what that does is it makes sure that they're remembering it. And it's this beautiful thing called documentation. Documentation is very important, especially having employees, especially if you ever get something sued against you for OSHA or stuff like that. Documentation, documentation, documentation. And so when you give them the where they learn it that way, they go do it, and then you get a check sheet saying they did it, and you document it, you both sign it. That is a beautiful documentation that if you say you never get on a roof and they're on a roof and fall off, you can say it. Now, one thing you cannot do is say you can't get on a roof and your butt is up on that roof, because that is a big no-no. And so same way with doing these decks. We can't be up there doing surface cleaner and our guy's watching us thinking he's going to think he can do the same thing. That's why we can't use it. We got to teach that we don't do it. So, and what this is doing is if we have a standard here, if this is our standard and we set it here, our guys are probably going to come in here. But if we set the standard here because we're lazy, we don't want to do everything we don't want to do the 5 rounds, we don't want to do the things that get us up here, and we set our standard here, where do you think our guys are going to be? Where do you think our employees are going to be? They're going to be here. And you're going to be like, well, why ain't you doing all this? I told you to do it. Well, you didn't do it. Well, yeah, you're right. You remember that book I talk about, Extreme Ownership? That's what I'm talking about. If you want the standard here and you want everybody to follow the standard up here, you have to be up here. You can't be here and think that they're going to be up here, because it's not going to happen. It's not. They're always going to be below you anyway. It's going to be very rarely they're going to be on the same standard that you are. They don't own it, and that is definitely why you want to do that. I think I'm ready. Talk to me about getting our first customers. PressureWashHelp.com/training. Or go back and watch some of my other videos. I'll make a hit on it here. Jason, thanks for the live about insurance in May 2020. Matt took care of me for 2021. Great deal. Awesome. I love to hear that. And you're in Tennessee, correct? And that's awesome. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not saying to go do an hour and a half driveway for $99, but I'm definitely not saying do it doing this little driveway for $100. It'll take me 30 minutes, including setup. I'm not going to do any driveway for that because I'm losing money at that. I want you all to be successful. And how do you be successful? By getting prices raised. Now, is it easy to close all these? And I understand I've done $100 driveways. I've done it because I thought, oh, that'll only take me 20, 30 minutes. And an hour later, I'm out there freaking messing with the driveway because it's got some oil. It's got some grass. It had a puddle down here that I fought the freaking thing for 20 minutes because if I didn't, they would say it was going to do it. So be careful when we're talking about that and doing that. A minimum driveway, if all they want is a driveway cleaning and I'm not doing the other thing, we're at $300. If you want to drop down that a little bit to $200 to $250 because they're doing the house and that's part of our packages, that's fine. But I'm not going to go do a driveway for $200 and that's the only thing I'm doing. I'm going to make that my $300. If you would like to replace the deck, George, yeah. We had a customer, and luckily they allowed it. This was after I sold it. And they had some yahoo that was in the office they were teaching him how to do the outside so he knew how to bid. He was out on a composite deck and was holding that stupid trigger, and they dug a hole in it. A big old circle right in the middle of the deck. They cleaned it, they left it there. Of course, they get a call back. So they had to go out there and they took the white tip high pressure and just ate all of that deck and tried to just fade it in. And they were happy with it. But, those boards are $50 and $60 a piece. So be careful what we're doing. Look, you can have $1 million today. You have an extra $1 million tomorrow, but you will never get back the time you lost. Time is more expensive than money. That is true. Not according to TikTok. You can wash decks with TikTok because I've seen a bunch of them. Oh, 8 gallon a minute. What size? What size? Um, what size buffer tank do I need for an 8 gallon a minute? So I like the 60 gallon a minute tank. I don't know if I would go lower than that because I was having somebody asking me if I could go to 40 gallon a minute, and I don't know if I would go to that 40 gallon a minute because I mean you probably could. The one thing I would definitely make sure you have is I would definitely make sure you have 3/4 inch hose coming in, garden hose, and I would have a Job valve, a JOBE valve, Megaflow, Job Megaflow valve. And the reason why I would have that is because those Hudson float valves can actually restrict water and slow your water flow down. So that is definitely it. Second leads to minutes, minutes leads up to hours, hour leads up to days, and so on. And you only get 168 hours a week, so use them wisely. My last customer asked me how long it would take me just the north side of the building. I told him it would take an hour and a half so I can get my pictures. We make small talk. We can watch the. um, I just sold another seal job for $1,345. That's awesome. Do not do paver ceilings unless you know what you're doing. It comes out badly. You don't even want to know how much time and it is going to cost. And you know what? And that is true, but you got to learn somehow or another. I've had my screw up. I've done it, and I screwed them up. And it was one of those jobs. I had a driveway, and if it wasn't a driveway, it would have been all right. But I had a driveway. It was stamped concrete. It wasn't paver seal. It was a stamped concrete. I used a sealer. I put it on way too freaking thick. They give me a call the next day, and they're like, "Will you come look at this?" And there's nice little forked tire prints. So whenever they came home with their hot car, they parked that hot tire on that sealer, and it had nice 4 little spots. Well, I talked to the manufacturer. It was Diamond Sealer. I talked to the sales rep. We had to go back, try to put xylene on it. That didn't work. That didn't work. So then I had to strip the whole freaking thing. That was a major. So it went from a $1,200 job, and I was going to make almost $1,000 off of it in about 4 hours, to a $1,200 in material and 2 days later of stripping it and resealing it. So you know what I learned? Don't use that sealer and don't put it on that thick on driveways. You can do it on back patios that thick because nothing's sitting on it that hot. But you do it on a driveway, it's going to screw it up. You know, if you do a paver sealer and you don't make sure that all the old sealers up, you're going to have a nice time. If you don't pull all the grass and you get lazy and you don't make sure all the grass is out of it, you're going to get screwed on that one too. You go and you get in a hurry and you don't make sure all the sand is off of the top of the pavers. Again, you're going to be doing some nice stripping jobs. Window cleaning and paver sealing is not my thing. It's not always everybody's thing. That is for sure. And again, Kim is your friend. That's how we do house washes. That's how we do it all. Raise your bar up so it spreads water better. That's kind of hard to do on a surface cleaner. You can change your tips out so it's open up and it's lower pressure, but there isn't really no raising a bar up on it. Regarding the pricing, do you suggest 50% deposits up front, remaining at the end of the job? Feel like my pricing weeds out the shysters, but you never know. I do like if you could get a deposit. I never did a deposit. The company I sold it to, they really wanted you to do a deposit. I do think deposits will help you make sure that you do not get screwed in the end. I think deposits is one thing for sure that is something that way if they call the next person and they get a quote back that they're not going to do it. Even if I think you did 25% up front and then the remaining after, And the beautiful thing by us doing that is we're getting their credit card information, and a lot of your CRMs or your better CRMs will hold that credit card information. So when you go to do it, you can say the day after I'm billing it, the rest of it will be billed to your credit card. So that way we can make sure that we're not getting screwed and we're not going and chasing and running money down, because the last thing I like doing is chasing for money, because they will tell you, I mailed that check yesterday. I don't know why you ain't got it yet. They lie to you. I'll tell you, they lie to you. I have a paver ceiling and pool cage cleaning, 400 square feet, $1,500, but takes 2 days. Why did it take 2 days for? Because that ain't very much. 400 square feet. Um, I'm OSHA 40. All my guys are OSHA 10. Customers like to see certs, and that's not a bad thing to do. You know, that's not a bad thing to do, to have that certification, to show that. That's something that you can say that you are OSHA certified, and that is a great sales pitch, because it takes 10 hours or 40 hours, and you can have that on your site. You can sell that of, hey man, we've been 40 hours on that. So that way when we're up on your roofs, we're not the jack legs up there with the surface cleaners. We won't even have to get on your roof, and if we do, we tie off and blah, 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 blah. And that way, if somebody falls off your roof, you don't have to worry about nobody falling off your roof, because we're going to make sure that we stick to OSHA's certification, blah, 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 blah. And one thing you're not going to have on your website is a picture of you on a roof without a freaking harness. People that have that, I love looking at websites with people up on a roof and they ain't got a freaking harness on. That is the dumbest thing you can do. And I've actually got some on my Christmas site page that I did that I probably should go take off. But that is the dumbest thing you can do. Because if you ever fall off, if your employees ever fall off, your butt is done. Done. You're going to get fined like no other. Kind of long, but you get paid once it's sealed, right? Yep. I just got 30, my OSHA 30. I think I'm going full time this year. Are you really, Thomas? That's awesome. How much did you end up making last year, being your very first year, if you don't mind me asking? So Thomas took my class in the spring of right when COVID started. I mean, like COVID started on Friday, and I had my class on Friday, the next Friday, or it was like real close that some people didn't show up because they got scared. So Thomas took my class. I want to see what he says he made last year, if he will say, and he's going to go full time this year. So if you're thinking about doing training, and he did the in-person training, go check out pressurewashhelp.com/dates. I've added an extra one in there, and I'm going to add another one here coming shortly for Cincinnati. So I'm going to have one in Raleigh. I'm going to have one up in Virginia, up by DC, and then I'm going to have one here in Cincinnati. And that is amazing that he's going to go full time this year. Max deck PSI, you don't want to go no more than 300 PSI, or no more than 800 PSI. We start going more than 800 PSI, we start furring the wood and we start splintering the wood. If we stay at 800 or less, we're less likely to do it. And I even stay, 4 to 6 inches off of it, because otherwise that is a bad thing. 69% close rate here. That means you can raise prices at that point. I'm saying if you are slow, if you don't have any work lined up, and you say no making 130 minutes, you're dumb. I'm saying you need to go find your customers, is what I'm saying. Because if you're going to go do $100 to do that job, that means you're not knocking on doors and getting those higher jobs, and that is what's going to set you back. That is what's going to make you slow, and that is not a good thing. I'm saying go find your customers. If you're in a cold climate, you can't find customers. If you're in a warm climate and you're not trying to find those customers, putting out signs, going knocking on doors, that's what you got to do to be able to get that higher pay raise. If you love them, they will let you pay them $100 for the whole house wash and driveway. But don't let nobody do like you say, not my customer. That is a challenge where the estimate with time then goes over than expected, and knowing it doesn't add up to equals success. Kind of learn the hard way. Yeah, and that is a good point. If you do a job and you find out that you're not as fast as you thought you was, and you lose money, then you just did a learning experience. Is what you just did. Now, what you can do is if it keeps taking you longer than that to do that house or that driveway, we're gonna, we might need to not, charge more because we're taking a lot longer than we thought. Now, some of this, and what I'm talking, most of these prices, and most of the times, I'm even talking on a 4 gallon a minute. A 4 gallon a minute is going to be a little bit slower. You're not going to probably be at that $300 an hour on a 4 gallon a minute, just because you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to be about an hour and 15, an hour and a half to do a house wash versus a 5.5 or 6, 8 gallon a minute. A 5.5 gallon a minute, I can do an hour house wash, no problem, of a 2,000 square foot house. I can't do that. That's the difference between a 4, 5.5, and an 8 gallon. Yeah, and this is a good point here about talking and saying Frank said you did his for $100. What's the deal? It's exactly right. You start doing cheap stuff, then their buddy wants all the cheap stuff too. And what are you going to say? Well, I was hurting for money then. I don't need, And then what's that going to do? Get you a bad review. Piss off Frank. Piss off all these other people. Tennessee's, it's going to be cold this week. Antifreeze loaded in the pumps. It's supposed to be down in single digits here in Kentucky area. What percentage of SH on tile roof versus shingles? It's pretty much the same, 50-50, 6%. What do you do about runoff on driveway cleanings, running down the street? So that if you're in an area that you have to worry about this, I've not been in an area that I've had to worry about it. If you're in an area you're worried about it, dam it up. Put a little sock. You can get the socks, so that way it filters any oil out or anything like that. Try not to use too many chemicals on it, because when we start using chemicals on it, bleach, anything, that's going to run down there. The biggest thing is your degreaser, stuff like that. I used to have a degreaser, powerwash.com sold it, and it turned green. And I got a little butt pinching going there because I'm like, there's a bunch of green stuff going down. It's going down that drain down there, and that don't look too good. That looks like antifreeze. So I quit using that stuff. So if I spray bleach on it, you're not going to know that chemical is really on there much. And even if I spray it after the fact, sometimes I'll pre-treat. I'll always post-treat. And even if I post-treat, that's not runoff at that point because it's going to sit there and dry right there pretty much. And this is not about a bunch of $1 million business owners here. I want you all to be honest. I guarantee you that Nick Sick from Illinois Power Washing wasn't charging $100 an hour. You know why I know? Because I made him raise his price. I guarantee you that Greg Townsend made $82,000 last year, isn't charging $100 for a little driveway. I guarantee you that Jason Huffner, that is in Florida, that made over $100,000 last year, are charging these lower prices. That is what I'm guarantee you. And I understand it can be hard, but what we got to understand is it's about getting customers. How do we get customers? Are we if we're not posting, if we're not working the Facebook and we're posting 2-3 times a day, showing our business, doing stuff, getting on LinkedIn, doing the same thing, making that networking connection, making sure we have 100 photos on our Google My Business. We're posting every day on Google My Business with pictures and stuff like that. We are getting links to our Google My Business. We are writing blog posts on our website. We are making sure our website is good. We are writing blog posts. We are doing all these things to do that. We are doing door to door with some flyers. And if we're not busy, instead of doing a 5 around, do a 20 around. Put a sign in their yard. This is how we get business. This is how we can get to where we need to be at. And this crap, and I've seen it in the Facebook groups of, oh, you can't charge that much. Blah, blah, blah. You know who the ones I see going out of business? The ones that go out of business are the ones that are being like you, Kyle. And I hate calling you out like that, but I've seen it a bunch here lately. And that is what I don't like. That's not going to help us get to where you need to be at. And I understand it's going to be hard and it's sometimes tough. And I understand if I'm hungry and my kids are hungry, I'm going to go do that $100 job. You're right. I'm going to go do that. But my goal is when I go do that $100 job, I'm going to do a 10 around. I'm not just going to go do a 10 around and leave a flyer. I'm going to go do a 10 around and I'm knocking on doors because I'm hungry and I don't want to do no more $100 driveways. That's what it comes down to, because what it comes down to is we got to get the phone to ring. If you don't know how to get the phone to ring, which I've been talking about how to get the phone to ring, we got to do this and we got to do this. You know, we got to make sure our Google My Business, we're posting on Google Business 3-4 times a day, or 1 time a day at least. We are doing the Facebook, we're doing LinkedIn, we are doing everything we can do to help. And everything I've been talking right here are all free methods. I'm not even getting into Google ads, Facebook ads, stuff like that, and signs and stuff like that. Are you guys feeling sand in the pavers as part of the job, or are these just wash and seal? No, you're going to have to seal. You have to put the sand in them, otherwise they'll get moving from you. That's what keeps them from moving and keeps them level. Because what happens is if that sand gets out of there, it will allow this to sink in because there's nothing to hold it tight. Does that make sense? If that sand is in between there and that filler, it can't move. When that sand goes out, what happens is that water gets down in there and then it'll start digging it out, and then that brick will actually start sinking like that. I raised mine at least a 1/4 inch. Works good. Mechanics lean for a house wash. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, that makes it tough sometimes when you don't get paid. I was talking to one of my local guys here. He had 2 or 3 last year, and he threatened that he was going to do that. And guess what happened? They paid. He was headed for one, and then he's like, "I'm headed there right now. If you don't pay this right now," and they gave him a credit card right then and there. What are the top 3 services do you recommend for someone just starting out without a truck, a 2.5-gallon machine, and a cheap surface cleaner? I'm looking at starting with a subdivision driveway. I would see if I can either get a downstream injector or an X-Jet on your thing and do house washes and driveways. And I would probably do decks, stuff like that, until you can start getting a little bit better equipment so you can do the roof cleaning and stuff like that. Got to let the pavers dry, or will you get that milk look to him? It depends on what type of sealer you're using. Like seal and lock, what I always use, they didn't have to dry all the way because it is a water sealer anyway. Obviously, you don't want no standing water, but they didn't have to be completely 100% dry. You can aluminum arms add caster to. Oh yeah, 30. Well, daggone. Thanks for the super chat. 30,000 last year part time. So Thomas did 30,000 last year. He worked. This is the one I'm talking about. Training dates. He came to my training. He did 30,000 last year, part time. He worked third shift and did this on the side. And he works. I think he works a lot too. I'm in my second year, and my minimum is 289 for a two-story home, and my driveway started at 289. That's awesome. But you must be one of them $1 million companies right there. This year, I'm going to start adding sales tax to bid instead of having to worry it worked in. What a dumb move last year. Yeah, so, and this is a good thing for new people. If you're in an area that has sales tax, and you might, and not all areas have it, like Kentucky just added it. It was like, well, now it's probably been about 3 years ago when the teachers union got going on about it. So they added a service or a sales tax. You do need to pay that sales tax. So, if you do a $289 house wash, you're going to say plus tax. That way they know that the plus tax is what it is. And that way they can keep going and doing it. Kentucky has it. Ohio has it where it's on the house. So, like if you do driveway cleanings and stuff like that, you don't actually have to collect it. Where can I buy a pressure hot washer skid frame? Oh, the frame. I don't know where you'd find the frame, man. See if you have a local guy that can weld one up for you. Hi, Jason. It's okay. 8 gallon a minute, 2,500 for driveway. Yes, I will actually have a video. Actually, all the videos that I've had come out recently with Jason Huffner down in Florida. He has an 8 gallon a minute machine. I got a video coming out on it in a couple weeks. I think it's coming up in it. I actually had 11 videos when I went and did that ride along. And so a couple of them he's doing this, like the one I think it is out there. The one I got drone footage, that is an 8 gallon a minute, 2,500 PSI on there. I would like to buy a new IGX 800 Honda. Them look pretty cool. I do like them. Them look pretty cool. Big difference money between 2,500. Yes, you're looking at about $1,500 between the two. I do not deep. I don't know. Got 2,500 flyers on the way. 50 yard signs. Awesome, Max. Yard signs, door hangers, do free stuff for your town, like wash down playground. That's a good one. Wash down playgrounds and make sure you're going live and showing it. GMB, Facebook ads, tons of stuff for marketing. Yep. I have a minimum that they are more than 100 and my market is saturated. Do you have a contract if you want them to do the work for your city? No. I live up north with winter months going to invade industrial parks. Wash tractor trailers now to get snow, salt, sand off, not doing anything but plowing driveways anyway. I mean, fleet washing is good in the north, folks, if you want to get into it. It's a little bit of a different animal than the house washing stuff is. And, it's not something that you can do fleet washing just usually during the wintertime and cut it off and just do house washing in the summer. Lady called. 800 square foot rental house. Susan, that'd be $275. Okay, will you do that on Tuesday? Yep. My minimum driveway is 200. Awesome. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for that rant. I keep saying this, but no one listens. I mean, it drives me nuts, Richard. In wintertime, drives me nuts to see all these yahoos on Facebook and everywhere sitting there. All they want to do is piss and moan. And that drives me nuts. Why be pissing and moaning? Be positive. Do something about it. There's only one person that can do something about you not being successful. It's not me. It's not all the little crybabies on Facebook. It's you. Take ownership of it, and it's you. You make yourself successful. I can't even make you successful. I can give you the tips and tricks and the help, guidance and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's you. Right there, you. You make you successful. I don't make you successful. I give you tips. I can give you things that I know that works in the industry all over across the way. You make you successful. I can't. Cody's on here. He can't make you successful. Mean and Lean. He can't make you successful. You. You are the only one to do it. If you have excuses, I'm sorry. Take ownership. And if you don't know what it is, go read the book, Extreme Ownership. In there, he talks about that they were in boot camp, and there was 6 boats that they had to do this stuff. And this one group was always number one. The number one group. He was always the number one group. Then they had the number 6 boat that came in last every time. Every time he came in last place. So you had this boat that was coming in first place every time, and you had this boat that was coming in last place every time. What they do, they switched the leaders. All they did was switch the leaders. Listen to me. All they did was switch the leaders. When they switched the leaders, the boat that was always last came in first, and this boat came in second. And from there on, this boat always came in, the one that was always coming in last with the bad leader, always was coming in first, and that next boat was coming in second. They didn't change everything. They didn't change pricing and everything. All they changed is one thing, the leader. So you are the leader of your business. You make you successful. I don't make you successful. These other people can't make you successful. You have to take ownership of your business, and you can't make excuses. Excuses are like farts. They stink. They don't mean nothing. They're not there. You make you successful. I can tell you what works. I can tell you what works for a lot of people. I can tell you that this works. I can tell you that this works. But you got to take action, and you got to do it. That's it. In these Facebook groups, and you all get in a little powwow, and you're all like, wah, wah, wah. That's not taking action. Taking action is posting every day in Facebook, LinkedIn, everything that you need to do. Learning something, learning LinkedIn, learning stuff about Facebook, learning stuff about whatever it needs to be. That is what you got to do. And, when I'm talking about all these things, you don't have to do them all. Pick one, learn it, be good at it, and you'll be successful. That's what it comes down to. And then once you learn that thing, then you go to number 2 thing. And then you go to number 3 thing. A lot of times we shoot a shotgun and just hope something happens. I mean, I'm all for throwing mud on the wall to see what sticks. But once I learn what sticks on the wall and what I learn what will make me successful, I'm going to throw more of that same mud on the wall because I know it sticks. And I'm going to keep throwing that mud up there. And when I do that, that is going to grow your business. That is going to make you successful. $36,000 my first year with a $4,000 DeWalt pressure washer. Out of 15 people in my class, only 2 people knew about. Google My Business, guys, is very, very important. And I've been preaching it. I preach it all. I mean, if you all been listening to me, I talk about it every week, just about, because I'm all about Google My Business. Because you know what? Google My Business does you a lot of good. I would almost say Google My Business will rank your website faster than just about anything else out there. What I've been reading a lot here lately about it, because I've been studying on it, because I'm wanting to go a little bit deeper on in my course, And so I've been making sure that my stuff that I've been reading is right and figuring out all the different sources. Google My Business is very, very, very important. If you want to rank a website, do Google My Business and it'll start ranking that website. You know, that's just the way it is. Jason, I did Google Ads last year with you and I'm happy with that. This year, I want to switch my 4 GPM to 8 GPM. Where can I get one? Thanks. Any pressure washing store will have it. Any of them. I mean, I don't know who's going to be like the most cost effective one. Some of it might depend on if you live close to one. If you live close to one, then that might be something you look at. Um, Bucks are stopping the Chiefs. Mr. $1 million landscaper. Also have an SEO rich domain. Yeah, I got it set up. Best website builder for my company. Well, this is the thing about a website. A website is not going to make your company grow and be successful from just having a website. You know, you got to have SEO and that kind of thing. So this is there's a couple companies out there. I've actually got a affiliate with one. Nice job. I mean, I like their website. I know some people that use their website that have made probably over $1 million off of their Nice Job website. It's something that it's simple. And so the website's $100 a month. And if you do the website and reviews, that is where the gold is the review side. You'll pay $175 a month, but that $75 for those reviews, of you collecting those reviews, when you get a review, it'll post it on Facebook, it'll post it in your LinkedIn, it'll post it in different places. You can actually, and then post it on your website. So like if you go to, let me see if I can find it here. I don't remember if I put it on my main website page or not. But yeah, I did. So this is the beautiful thing about it is when you go to your website, then you can see all the reviews, and these reviews will update as they come in. So that is the beautiful thing about this. This one's a double, but so you can see these are my reviews, and this is what helps you out, guys. This helps rank your website. This helps you right here a lot at the end of the day. Having those reviews on there. And so those are some things you can do. And I can show you a website that has it on here. And this is what it looks like. So you can see it has a phone number. It has a get estimate button. These are very important things to do. You can go down, again, a phone number, and in mobile, this stays as you scroll the whole way down. Because guess what? It don't matter what your website looks like in here. It matters what it looks like in mobile. And you might say, Jason, why do you care about what it looks like in mobile? Well, I'm going to tell you why why you want to care about it when it looks like in mobile. Because probably 60, I think it's like 70% see your phone or see your website on this. So if your website looks like crap on this, they're not going to be able to find it. Or if your phone is slow, or if your website is slow, they're going to click back and go to the next one. So this is why this is important right here. We got to make sure that that is very, very important. You guys got a lot of questions. Have you ever cleaned a rooftop AC coils? No, because that's a little bit. I'm not an HVAC guy. You just got to be careful with it because you can screw them up really fast. Can someone make good money just having a 12 volt and no pressure washer? You can do house washes You can do roof cleanings. Um, you can do concrete cleaning, and you're nuking it. It's not. I wouldn't suggest it. So, can you make money? Absolutely, you can make money off of it. Is that going to be the easiest way? Not necessarily. Prices, please, on what? So again, if I only have, I'm cutting my class down to 15 in Raleigh for pressure washing because it is a very hands-on class. And you go to pressurewashhelp.com/dates. I only got 3 spots left because I want to make sure that you get hands-on training. Even at 15, I'm going to have 2 trailers there. I'm going to have my personal, actually DJ's trailer there. I'm going to bring it down with me. And then I got Donovan's trailer. So this is a 2-day course. You will learn a lot. You'll learn everything about pressure washing on day 1. Day 2, you'll learn everything about marketing, gutter cleaning, safety, how to run an aerial, how to run ladder safety, all of that good stuff. And then if you want to stick around for Christmas lights, you can do the Christmas light course on Sunday. And then that'll be all Christmas light stuff, how to bid, that kind of thing. Or if you want to just do Christmas lights, you can do just Christmas lights or pressure washing. But right now, I only have 3 spots for pressure washing. So you definitely go sign up. It's February 26th and 27th or something like that. I'm actually going down a day early. So you definitely want to make sure you go through that. When I teach it, I go over everything. I teach everything as a hands-on. You get to spray the hose. You get to do the window cleaning. You get to do that. Yes, I teach you how to clean exterior windows. And yes, you get to do it. So it's not watch Jason do something. It's watch Jason do something, then you get to go do it. And the reason why I teach that way is because I understand a lot of people don't know how to do stuff unless you touch it. If you're like Jason, when I touch it, it connects a lot faster up here. If I just wanted to watch something on television, that's one thing. But I want to go touch it. I want to go use it. I want to pull the hose. I want to learn how to pull the hose. Again, I only have 2 spots for that. So you definitely want to make sure that you want to get 1 or 3 spots. We're at 12. We're sitting at 12 right now. Originally, I was going to do 20, but I didn't want to do that. Papa Jason, you're the best man. You've been cracking me up, dude, on all your comments of saying Papa Jason. um, I'm not that old. um, can't wait. Going to be there. So it is a lot of information that weekend. Donovan's going to talk about CRMs and go a little bit in depth on. I'm giving that to him, so he's going to talk about CRMs, why we need to have them, all of that kind of stuff. He's going to talk about gutter cleaning. He did over $500,000 in gutter cleaning. He did almost 350 or 750 in gutter cleaning last year, so that is definitely what he's going to go over, and then all of that kind of stuff there. I've been on here for an hour and 13 minutes. I appreciate everybody coming on. If y'all would like and you want to start learning how to do Google My Business, the actual how to do it, I break it down into my course. So you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free. You get 30 days free there. And I teach it. I'm getting ready to build a website this week. I was supposed to do it last week. And I'm going to build a website for somebody out of Columbus. And when I build that website, I'm going to break it down step by step, everything that I'm doing. And that way you will see if you want to do yourself or you want to pay for it. So I am building his website. You'll see it when it's done. I don't know if I'll put any videos out on YouTube about it, so it may just sit in my course for a while before I put any videos out. But again, I'm going to break down how to build a website for yourself. You're going to be about, right now I think he had to pay $60 to get the hosting, the name, all of that kind of thing. And then it'll be, I think I'm going to do the theme I like using is Divi, so that's about $89 per year. But you would only have to do it your first year. So you can be in about $150 a year, or $150 and have your own website. Now it's going to take some time for you to do that, but my goal this week is to get this website done, because I told him I'd do it last week, and I had a lot that I had to do last week. So I'm going to get it done this week so that you all will be able to learn from it. So in my course at pressurewashhelp.com/free, I talk all about how, all the how to. Then I talk all about the Google My Business, how to break everything down, how to do Google Posts, how to do your pictures, all of that stuff. Because I want you all to be successful. I don't want you to be failed. I don't want you to fail. I want you to be successful, because when you're successful, that what makes me happy. When you give me stories about, hey, I did this, and I would love for you to come on here on a Sunday night to give me your success story. I would love that. And I don't care if your success story is a $30,000 a year, a $15,000 a year, or a $75,000 a year. I love hearing success stories. And if you want to give me a review for that, I'd appreciate it. You can go to Pressure Wash, or I believe it's kingofpressurewash.com/review. And you can also see how Nice Job works and give me a review, and I would appreciate it, because I know that I want you all to be successful. I want you all to get to the next level. I want you all to be able to have time freedom, to be able to be financial freedom, and everything along that goes with it. Because that is my goal. Because if I can hit that goal, that means you hit your goal. And that is what I want to do. Hope you all have a good night, and I'll be back on here on Thursday night. I'll see you then.